Hello everybody, welcome to another exciting edition of Manga GEEKDOM here on YouTube. Today we're going to take a look at all the new series that are starting in August of 2026, and as always we also include any deluxe edition or box set of previously released material. We don't go over the previously ongoing series, so no volume 40s of your favorite shonen manga. With all of that out of the way, let's get started. From Viz Media, we have Daydream Darling Volume 1 by Io Sakisaka. This is a high school shoujo rom-com that started publication back in 2024, and it's still ongoing. Daydreamy Itohara is too shy and anxious to talk to her high school classmates, so she finds solace in confiding in upperclassman So, who is always encouraging and supportive. With such a great friend by her side, Itoha just may have found a dream come true. From 7 Seas Entertainment, we have Girl Meets Rock Volume 1 by Kuwahali and Tetsuo Ideuchi, a musical shonen comedy series that started back in 2024. With a brand new guitar in hand and a passion for classic rock, Chihiro enters high school eager to join the Light Music Club and take her first step towards greatness, as best she can while being awkward and introverted anyway. She doesn't seem like the type to dream about being a rock star, but she's got big plans. First, she's gotta get her band together, and the other starstruck freshman may be the perfect place to start. From Square Enix, we have The Princess Groom Volume 1 by Asaki Asagiri along with Selen. This one is a drama fantasy romance series that started back in 2024 and it's still ongoing. Lady Leticia is a duke's daughter known as the Beautiful Doll for her ethereal, delicate looks. Her waifish face leads many to believe her meek and docile, but with the use of a magical ring, she regularly transforms into a handsome and gallant young man. This dashing alter ego, famed for his heroic exploits, has captivated the hearts of women and men across the land. As the Beautiful Doll, however, she finds she can't melt the heart of Prince Gilbert, the brooding and some would say cursed second-born prince of the royal family. But when Leticia reveals her other persona in front of him and his reaction is to blush and swoon, she finds herself unexpectedly charmed. Who could have predicted that the cursed prince would love it when a woman takes charge and swoops in to save him? It's time for this doll to give her man a taste of true husband material. From Viz Media, we have The Martial King, Volume 1, written and drawn by Boichi. This one's an action shonen series that started back in 2025 and it's still ongoing. This is the age of desperados. For millennia, outlaws, bandits, and varmints have had the run of the Wild West's vast deserts, with only the US Marshals to stand against them. Right along with Jimmy Godspeed as he searches for the legendary power of the Martial King to bring these times of chaos to an end. From 7 Seas Entertainment, we have Magic Repo Man, Dumped by My Party, I'll cash in with a cute support fairy to become the strongest. Volume 1, this is by Masakichi, along with Shingo Ijima. This one's an action fantasy series that started back in 2023 and it's still ongoing. Lent is part of the up-and-coming party known as the Sky Piercers, and thanks to his unique gift, he can loan massive amounts of magic to others. No MP, no problem with Lent around. Except now that his companions have become formidable heroes, his usefulness is questioned. Kicked out of the group, Lent is furious until he discovers a hidden power to his gift. Now with his adorably devious fairy partner, he's going to repossess every last scrap of magic from his former party, with interest. From Kana, we have Chisakobi, Volume 1 by Minetaro Mochizuki. This one's a drama seinen series that ran from 2012 to 2015, 44 chapters collected in 4 volumes. After a fire burns down his family business and claims the lives of his parents, the young heir and master carpenter, Shigetsugu, vows to rebuild the failing venture with his late father's words in mind. No matter how much the times change, what's important is for our kind to have compassion and dedication. And then Ritsu, a housemate with no relatives to rely on, comes rolling into his life with a group of children from a welfare facility who have nowhere to go. Thus begins the dramatic last-ditch way-of-life story of a shaggily bearded carpenter. From 7 Seas Entertainment, we have Draw This, Then Die, Volume 1. This is by Minoru Toyoda, an award-winning comedy series that started back in 2021 and it's still ongoing. Yasumi Ai, a first-year high schooler living on the remote island of Izu Oshima, has one obsession: manga, when she discovers that her long-idolized but reclusive favorite manga creator, Hoshino-sensei, will make a rare appearance at Kamishiya. Ai doesn't hesitate. She has to meet her hero. But that choice sets off a chain of encounters that will shatter her assumptions about art, genius, and what it truly means to create. From Titan Manga, we have High Elf with a Long Life, Volume 1. This is by Rarutori and Siavis, an isekai adventure fantasy series that started back in 2021 and it is still ongoing. For most high elves, the stillness of the great Pula woodlands is paradise. For Acer, it's been 120 years of stifling calm. Unlike his kin, Acer remembers another life, one as a human in a different world, complete with cravings for adventure, hearty meals, and a thrill of danger. Armed with his bow, spirit-blessed fruit, and centuries of skill, he abandons the Sylvan idol to carve out a new destiny beyond the forest. From 7 Seas Entertainment, we have Hotel Inhumans, Volume 1 by Ao Tajima. This one's an action drama series that started back in 2021 and it's still ongoing. A luxury hotel has certain standards: exquisite dining, flawless comfort, unforgettable entertainment, and also the latest weapons, forged identities, and perfect body disposal. This is a hotel where the guests are professional assassins, and the concierge never say no. At the boundary between life and death, killers arrive with wishes they cannot entrust to anyone else. Each request is answered without judgment, and every stay becomes a story of violence, regret, warmth, and beauty. From Kodansha, we have You Might As Well Be the One, Volume 1. This is a romance series that started back in 2023, and it is written and drawn by Megumu Seto. College student Ichika's done with boys who won't commit. She's looking for a proper long-term relationship, yet because of her flashy appearance, she is often misunderstood. Her determination takes her to a mixer, where after another night of frustration, she bumps into Kosei. He's totally upfront. He just wants to keep things casual. They immediately click, finding more and more common ground. In another universe, they could be great friends, but despite herself, Ichika goes tumbling head over heels. She knows pursuing Kohei is just getting her further and further from her LTR goals. What could one woman compromise for love? From 7 Seas Entertainment, we have Punk's Triangle Stitch, Volume 1. This is by Yuho Okita, a BL Not Safe for Work series that is a sequel to the hit Punk's Triangle series. This one is still ongoing. From Viz Media, we have Half is More, Volume 1 by Yoiko Fujimi. This one's an adult drama series that started back in 2022 and it's still ongoing. Side eyes, confusion, whispers, giggles. Being a mixed-raced Japanese person isn't easy, and that's especially true for Kazumi Mandanda Yoneyama and her brother. Despite being born and raised in the land of the rising sun and having a Japanese mother, the siblings who share a black French father are treated as outsiders. But knowing they have as much right to belong as anyone else, they and their mixed-race friends search for ways to cope and find wholeness in their half-Japanese identity. From Seven Seas Entertainment, we have Puniru is a Kawaii Slime Omnibus Edition. So this one is volumes 1 and 2 in one chunky book. A gag comedy series that started back in 2022 and it's still ongoing. Kotaro is an average young boy, and like many kids his age, he enjoys the latest childhood craze of playing with slime. One day, the slime randomly turns into an adorable girl who he names Puniru. Though cute, her stubbornness and constant need for attention get on his nerves. It's like having a goopy little sister. Just when the two settle into their not-so-normal life, the granddaughter of Cutie Land's founder arrives. Can Okanega Alice and her little friend Runrun out-cute the world's most adorable slime girl? From Seven Seas Entertainment, we have The Death-Defying Princess Creates a Yuri Harem to Survive, Volume 1. This one is by a bunch of people: Aoi Akashiro, Moromi Koji, Shinya Murata, and Nobuhiko Yanai. A fantasy GL ecchi series that started back in 2024 and it's still ongoing. Marie, a selfish, iron-fisted ruler, earns the hatred of her people and is promptly sent to the guillotine for execution. Or so it seems. Inches away from death, the blade falls, and she's not dead? Instead, the problematic princess finds herself in the past, a year before her execution. But no matter what she does, she keeps dying and rewinding again and again. If Marie truly wants to change her deadly fate, she must overcome countless deadly romantic entanglements with the very women who want her beheaded. Can she successfully seduce them and change their murderous intent, or is she stuck in this never-ending time loop that always results in death? From Yen Press, we have Deep Sea Aquarium Magmo, Volume 1. This is by Kiyomi Sugishita. This one's a slice-of-life seinen series that started back in 2017. The deep sea is home to some of the most fantastic creatures the world has ever seen, and 200 meters below Tokyo Bay at the Magmo Deep Sea Aquarium, they're on display for all to see. Kotaro's idea of heaven. He's a shy boy, but Kotaro loves sea creatures and just landed a part-time job cleaning the aquarium. From Yen Press, we have Don't Confuse Me, Yamori-kun, Volume 1. This is by Shina Inoguchi, a comedic school seinen series that started back in 2023. Over summer break, Mori has decided to change his look along with Yamori, the guy behind him in class. Their seasonal debut is a success. But why is Yamori now in girls' clothing? And suddenly he's acting strangely and making suggestive comments? From Yen Press, we have Elden Ring Distant Tales Between, Volume 1. This is written and drawn by Haruichi, a fantasy series set in the video game of the same name, Elden Ring. What if Roderica were to befriend the rest of the Round Table Hold, or a certain blackguard went in search of a delicacy other than prawns? The lives of those in the lands between, all the possibilities and worlds that unfolded for them long before our tarnished emerged, come to life. From Titan Manga, we have Colori Colore Creare, Volume 1. This is by Kozue Amano, a slice-of-life series that started back in 2022 and it's still ongoing. The quiet island town of Onobori is hidden from the world by a noren, a traditional curtain that veils it from the ordinary. Here lives Aka, a gentle, innocent girl living in a windmill coffee shop with her grandfather. Life flows peacefully until a chance encounter with a giant black cat draws her into a subtle, spellbinding journey. As moments of quiet beauty unfold around her, Aka begins to stitch together the vibrant threads of a future shaped by kindness, connection, and wonder. From Yen Press, we have Clevetess, the King of Dark Beast, the Baby, and the Undead Hero, Volume 1. This is written and drawn by Yuji Iwahara. a dark fantasy action series that started back in 2020 and it's still ongoing. The hero was slain, the king was felled, and the child of fate was seized. Clevetess, a lord of dark beast blessed with both peerless strength and superhuman intellect, raged at the 13 heroes who felled him and vowed to wipe humanity out. Instead, he's found himself saddled with a terrible burden, a newborn human baby. Is this an omen of the end times or the birth of a new era? From Yen Press, we have Golden Man, Volume 1. This is by Petos and Koji Megumi, a superpowered action seinen series that started back in 2024 and it's still ongoing. Meet Golden Man, the great hero who protected Neo York. He suddenly vanished from the city of freedom. At the scene of his disappearance, an abnormally strong young man with amnesia has collapsed. In their hero's absence, Golden Man's support team sends the young man out in his place to confront the villains that menace the city. From 7 Seas Entertainment, we have Luna Night, Volume 1 by Hiro Morino. This one's an action seinen series that ran from 2024 to 2025, 15 chapters collected in 3 volumes. Luna can barely remember the past 5 years of her life. Her older sister promised to help her make new memories, and then vanished without a trace before she could follow through with that promise. With nothing but a few ragged memories to cling to, Luna dedicates herself to the flower shop her sister left behind until the day it goes up in flames, plunging Luna's world into bloody chaos. Luna doesn't know how she got so good with a gun, but one thing's for sure, she will not forgive the men who destroyed her sister's shop. Would Luna's deadly skills and hunger for revenge be enough to punish the most dangerous men in the city? And just where did her newfound skills come from? From Yen Press, we have Hand in Hand with Muchan, Lessons from My Autistic Daughter, Volume 1. This is written and drawn by Rin Minato, a drama slice-of-life series that started back in 2018. When a couple full of excitement learns their daughter might be autistic, some of their feelings start to change, even if they know all this means is that she'll develop a little more slowly than other children. It's not easy to watch the future and family they'd envision crumble. But in this story, based on the author's real-life experiences raising an autistic child, family love can overcome anything. From Yen Press, we have Playing Death Games to Put Food on the Table, Volume 1 by Banzai Kotobuki Daien-kai, along with Nekometaru. Yes, those are 2 different names. This one's an action suspense series that started back in 2023 and it's still ongoing. Yuki has entered a genuine life or death show business where all the participants have to be female, and where one must put their life at stake to strike it rich. Show no mercy, strut your stuff, and break the line between life and death. Aim for an unprecedented 99 win streak, for fun and for keeps. From 7 Seas Entertainment, we have The Misdeeds of an Extremely Arrogant Villain Aristocrat, Volume 1. This is by Yukiha Kuroyuki, Micro, and Uodenim. This one's a fantasy isekai series that started back in 2024, and it's still ongoing. Luke Witharia Gilbert was destined to be the arrogant villain of a fantasy tale, but he was undone by his own pride and easily defeated by the hero. But when he's reborn with full knowledge of how the story ends, Luke decides to take his fate into his own hands. Determined to survive, he sets aside his hubris and dedicates himself to training in earnest. His efforts shake the future in unexpected ways, quickly enlisting his sword instructor and even captivating a brilliant young lady from a noble family. In this version of the story, the bad guy might just come out on top. From Yen Press, we have The Blood-Crawling Princess of a Ruined Country, Volume 1. This is by Yuki Azuma, a fantasy, not safe for workish series that started back in 2023. Princess Evita lives a modest and happy life in a small country, but when the neighboring country attacks, the kingdom's land is taken, her family mercilessly killed, and Evita is forced into prostitution. Going by the name Priscilla, she prostrates herself one day before the feudal lord's third son when the knell of rebellion sounds out. From Yen Press, we have The Demon Consort, I Love You, Are Frightening Words, Volume 1. This is by Toshiko Machida, a horror romance series that started back in 2024 and it's still ongoing. You Killed Chikage is the last thing university student Ako expected to hear at her childhood friend's funeral. She's told that by sharing the accursed legend from her village about the demon, she has brought about a curse. That has to be a lie. But then why is Chikage's corpse all unnaturally mangled? And when one tragedy after another occurs, each more supernatural than the last, Ako is physically and mentally pushed to the brink. Is this a truly unfortunate series of events, or is there something else at play? From Seven Seas Entertainment, we have Raul and His Vampire Prince, Volume 1. This is by Ataru Sonoguchi, a BL comedy fantasy series that started back in 2023 and it's still ongoing. Once a homeless orphan, Raul was taken in and saved by Rose, an eternally youthful vampire with a gentle, delicate air. From that day on, Raul dreamed of becoming strong enough to protect the one who gave him a home. Years of dedication and training shape him into a tall, muscular young man. But no matter how much he grows, Rose still sees the small, vulnerable child he once was. Caught between who he has become and who Rose remembers, their days unfold in a tender, sugar-sweet life shared between a vampire and a human. From Yen Press, we have Then Shall I Kill in Your Stead, Volume 1. This is by Soso Sakakibara, a suspenseful school seinen series that lasted from 2018 to 2026. 87 chapters collected across 12 volumes. High school student Yuma Fujikura resides in a living hell, courtesy of the vicious bullies who treat tormenting him as a game. That is until he meets Ryo Amezato, a mysterious classmate who'll risk everything to protect Yuma. Ryo is bold, cunning, and loyal, just about everything Yuma could have asked for. But is he a guardian angel, or a demon who'll drag Yuma into an even deeper, bloodier hell? From Yen Press, we have Girls Last Tour, the Collector's Edition, Volume 1, or the First Ration Pack. This one is by Tsukumizu. This award-winning slice-of-life series came out from 2014 to 2018. It was previously released by Yen Press, but now we're getting it in a deluxe omnibus edition. Paperback, of course. The original series consisted of 47 chapters collected across 6 volumes. Civilization is dead, but not Chito and Yuri. Time to hop aboard their beloved motorbike and wonder what's left of the world. Sharing a can of soup or scouting for spare parts might not be the experience they were hoping for, but all in all, life isn't too bad. And there you have it, folks, some of the new manga coming out in August 2026. Let me know down below which ones are your most anticipated and what other series that I did not mention here are you getting as well. Thank you everybody for watching. God bless, stay safe out there. I will catch all of you on the next one.